Folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this little fella right here, Pocket Sub. This is a game designed by Darrin Horbal and put out by Alley Cat Games. Now, this is largely an abstract strategy game that has the theme of submarine warfare wrapped around it. But it's kind of thinly veiled. We'll get to that in just a little while. But let me get down to the table. I'll show you how it works in a very basic general form, and we'll come back with some final thoughts in just a few moments. So here I have a 3-player game of Pocket Sub set up for you. Now, the goal of the game is to have your submarines be the last one standing. So if any point during the game there is only one player that has any subs left on the board, they are considered the winner and everybody else is the loser. Now, on your turn, you have to move one of your subs 3 spaces and lay one of your mines in a space that you left. And you cannot go back to a place that you came from, and you cannot end in the same spot that you originated at the beginning of your turn. So you do have to keep those things in mind. Now, moving from one space to an adjacent space is just 1. But if you're moving into a rocky area like this one right here, then it would be 2 spaces. Moving into a deep area is 1, but you can move from one deep area to another deep area for two movement. And so there is that. So if I'm here and I wanted to, I could go 1, 2, 3 like this, and that would be a valid move. Then I would place one of my mines in this area since I left it and go there. Additionally, you can't place mines in the deep areas. Additionally, you can't place mines where another sub is or another mine is, including yours. So let's say I went 1, 2, 3 like this. I could not place a mine here like that. I would have to place it either here or here. If you cannot do either of those things, which are move your sub 3 movement points or place a mine, one of your subs is immediately destroyed. Now, if you ever enter a spot that has an enemy sub in it already, both submarines are destroyed. Your command center area here, which are these 3 areas, are considered deep sea, like these right here, but they also protect your ship. So if you end your submarine in your command center, it cannot be destroyed by anything. So that's one area. If you ever enter an opponent's command center, your submarine automatically dies, and your command center never moves, so it's stationary. If at any point you are down to your last sub, that sub becomes your hero sub. And what that basically means is that if you enter a spot, normally both of these would be destroyed, but because this is your hero sub, your opponent's submarine is destroyed and you survive. So just a couple sample rounds here. Red's going to go 1, 2, 3 like that, and he's going to leave a mine right there. White is going to go, let's see here. They will go 1, 2, 3, and they will leave a mine right there. Blue, goodness, this one's kind of in a sticky position here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 like that, and leave a mine right there. Red is going to go 1, 2, 3 like that, and leave a mine token right there. And then white is going to go with, let's see here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 like that. And they will leave a mine token right there. Blue, let's see here. We're going to go with, that guy is feeling the burn. 1, 2, 3 like this. And leave a mine token right there. Comes back to red. Red is going to go 1, 2, 3 like this, which kills both of these submarines, but he is going to be able to place a token, place a mine, because he did that during his movement, not at the end when he died in sub-combat here. Then white is going to go 1, 2, 3, and place a mine token right there. And then blue is hurting. So we're going to go 1, move into the deep area, 2, 3 over here, and we'll leave a mine token right there. And that's how it would continue until, like I said earlier, one person is the sole possessor of subs still on the board, and they would be considered the winner. So that's about that for Pocket Sub. Now, I said that it was going to be a very general thing. Those are the mechanisms that are employed in the game. There's also a 4-player version where it's going to be 2 versus 2. It's actually a team game at that point. The 3-player is every man for himself, and then the 2-player is also mano y mano. So there you go. Those are the ways that you can play it. There are also some variants in the rules where there's classified information, there's currents that are pushing around, there's whirlpools in the deep sea areas. So there's a lot of different things that are there, but generally speaking, what I showed you is how you play the game and the basic mechanisms involved. So let's get to my pros. First of all, the pros, my first pro is that the component quality is really, really good here. Now, there was a sticker sheet that came in there if you wanted to, but you don't really need to use the stickers. So that's neither here nor there. I'm usually a huge opponent of stickers and sticker sheets and stuff like that. But in this game, it wasn't necessary to provide differentiation between the different subs, so I didn't use them. So they get a pass. But the rest of the components are really good. I thought the rulebook was very well laid out, very clear and concise. I liked the size of the submarines. They fit well within all of the different regions of the tiles. The tiles themselves were very well designed. I like the graphic design or artwork, if you want to call it that is on each of the ones. It's very clear which ones were shallow, which ones were deep, and which ones were rocky regions. So that's a cool thing as well. So the component quality and the artwork, graphic design all get a huge plus from me because it looks good on the table, and it's compact enough to where it will draw attention because it looks good and it's compact. So that's a plus. My second pro is that the gameplay is intuitive and fast. You know what you have to do. You have to move 3 and you have to place a mine. If you can't do that, one of your subs is going to go down in a blaze of glory. So you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do in order to get there. So that's where the gameplay comes in. And it's very much... it can almost be kind of like a cat and mouse type game where you are waiting for that one time to strike, but you're also trying to protect, leave yourself an out if you get into a sticky situation. There's all that kind of going on. So, but the gameplay is quick. And it's simple, it's intuitive, you know what you have to do. So there isn't a whole lot of thought that goes on about what should I do. You know what you need to do, so you get it done. Or you don't. So as far as cons are concerned, my first con is that the thematic tie to this game is slim to none. There were a lot of mechanisms that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. For example, when you attack another sub, if it's not your hero sub, both you and your the sub you're attacking die. That doesn't really make a whole lot of thematic sense at all. But I understand what they were doing. They didn't want it to be this idea of just go and attack and so forth and so on. There has to be this kind of struggle, this tension. So I get it. You kind of have to, surrender upon to take upon. This kind of idea. I get it. I just don't like it. And it doesn't make any thematic sense to me. If you can position yourself where you can strike without being struck at first, that you should be rewarded for that, not penalized, which is pretty much what that felt like. My second con was kind of along this idea of turtling. There was a definite way, or at least a strategy that I saw employed, and it did kind of work out well, where you could kind of just stay in your area and not move out while everybody else is kind of fighting. You could just kind of stay there and you're good. I don't really like it when games allow you to do that. More often than not, I want to be up in your face. I want to be, in the game, of course. I want to be challenging you. I want you to challenge me. And that just kind of felt, again, another reason that it was kind of anti-thematic and counterintuitive. So I didn't really like that aspect of the game, but it was definitely there, and I felt it in the games that we played. So there you have it. Also, along this line, you could kind of feel when you had lost and there was just nothing you could do about it. You knew that your life is limited and you only had a certain number of moves left, and it didn't really matter what the other person did. You just kind of knew it was there. And so that kind of also fed into this idea of sometimes it just felt very constrictive, and I didn't like it very much in that respect. So all in all, I'm going to give this one just a middle of the road 5 out of 10. It's really going to be determined by how much you like abstract strategy games, first of all. Second of all, do you have any interest whatsoever in submarine warfare? And even if you do, I don't know if it's going to hold very much sway, because you're going to look at some of these mechanisms and say, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't even know if you have an interest in submarines or submarine warfare or something like that, that this is going to do you much good at all. Now, it is 8+, so that is a bonus for it, I guess you could say, and that the younger crowd will be able to get in on it as well. But again, I just don't think it has a whole lot going for it. It's just another kind of abstract strategy game with a neat looking theme wrapped around it. I will give it that, but it's again, doesn't do anything really new for the abstract strategy game category, and that's for me as an outsider looking in. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, please let me know, and I know you will. But that's it for me. A 5 out of 10. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't really like it either. It's just kind of middle of the road for me. But again, try before you buy. It is a smaller game, so it's not going to cost you a whole lot of change. So see what you think. If it has any sparks for you, go ahead, get it and give it a whirl. But that's it for me. 5 out of 10 for Pocket Sub. Thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. See you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.